method that has been going on for like from December or November or something like that for growing pages. And I started doing this method literally just a couple of weeks ago. I think this account itself is probably like month old or month and a half, but I started doing the method literally probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago maximum. And you can see like 6K almost followers in here, 240K, 6K on IG it works as well, 3K. And I have a couple more accounts with results just like these. And for those who have been trying to grow some pages for a while, you know that getting like completely new Instagram from scratch, like completely from scratch, to 3K followers, even within like 2 months, would be pretty pretty solid. And literally just posting a couple videos and already getting 38K of views is really fucking good. 28K, 65K. So yeah, you guys know that this is like very, very good results and it's not normal. So there is obviously something else that's behind it, and it's kind of the style of content and the way how I do the content. First of all, on a lot of goals, Finn and I have been talking about like growing pages. We even had Frank join there, and Igor, I think. And we are talking about the fact that if you're new to something, you always have advantage, and you will always grow page when you're completely new to some style of content. And this is the reason also why this worked so well, because I was probably completely the first guy who started doing this B-roll stuff with women like this. Or I, for a fact, was the first guy who started doing this B-roll content with Monk. Like nobody tried it before. Like I saw, obviously, I got inspiration from Jada Brown from Tankas. I got inspiration to do this, but he was not trying Monk. He was just not trying this character, for example. He was only doing it with Jada Brown. I was like, all right, what if I just, instead of like using some random character, right? I use someone, or I use someone who's in a niche that's currently going viral, which was the esoteric niche with monks. So with the normal monk, and then also with this spiritual healer, right? If you look at some of her videos where she's talking, she's like spiritual healer like this. So yeah, this just randomly got onto my mind, and then I also made a white version of Jada Brown, which is Onti Peril, and again,
I can't
this is for physician's choice, but
send it to
this is
you.
just like completely opposite of Jada Brown. It's like southern wine grandma. So yeah, and so this is why I think, or this is why it's going viral in the first place, because I was completely new to something. And I mean, you can for a fact be new to something as well. All you need to do is you can just get a style like this. All right, you can, like, since you see that this style is going viral, you can just copy it. But what I definitely wouldn't do is use the same characters as I do. For example, if you're just gonna use this black woman, or if you're gonna use this monk, or if you're gonna use this white grandma, or if you're gonna use Jada Brown, or if you're gonna use just whatever is going viral currently, you are not gonna go viral. You just need something that's completely new, and think of something that's gonna give you some competitive advantage, and think of something that's gonna give you that's gonna help you do a little switch. For example, also pretty interesting switch that we've done with our VAs, which is also why this content works better, is that we do our B-rolls, we do our own B-rolls, which 99% of people don't do, and we create these B-rolls in VO3, and also with Hicksville. Obviously, you make the base image, but a lot of these, even like this one, right, is made with VO3. This is not a stolen B-roll, so we can use basically whatever, and we can use clips that people have for effect never seen before, because we are using AI to make these clips, especially with hooks. It's super important, because if you're gonna use something that you randomly found, for example, on YouTube, there is very high possibility that someone else has already found it, and someone else has already used it, and that the clip already went viral, especially if it's showing, for example, right after you type something into search bar and you just download the first clip. Very high possibility people have already seen it before, so it's pretty good to make your own B-roll. It's super easy to make it in VO. I don't think I really have to like make a tutorial for that. You can just you just create this base image in some of the Higgs field, for example, in Nano Banana Pro or whatever, and then you're just gonna make it move in VO3. It's like pretty simple. So that's all it's about, and you're gonna have pretty cool like previews that people have never seen before, and you're gonna differentiate yourself from others. So main thing you need here to grow the page is to differentiate yourself with the character and differentiate yourself with the clips. Maybe you're gonna find something. Maybe you're gonna like think of some completely new style that's not even gonna be this AI green screen. Maybe you're gonna do some hybrid between AI green screen and talking head or whatever, and you're gonna cook, and that's how you're gonna differentiate yourself. But very important thing is that you're not gonna you're not gonna do these things the same way as everyone else, which is super important. So yeah, and now when you know this, also I'm gonna be sending this to Iron Paws. So I'm gonna be sending this to Rosabella, probably Serene, probably Iron Paws, and like basically all of my brands. But if you're from Iron Paws, you can legit just take everything that's been here, just take the working structures and remake them so they work with dogs. Obviously, just remake the tips with dogs, and you're good. So, for example, let's check, for example, this video.
Never mix garlic and moringa unless you...
For example, never give your dog, like, I don't know, carrots and blueberries unless you want him to cleanse from parasites or some shit like that. And you're just gonna have the video about that, and you're gonna switch the character. And if you do this for Iron Balls, there's no way it's not gonna go viral. Like, you're just gonna grow the page with dog content, and then you're gonna be fucking cooking. So this is how you do it. And now I just want to show you how to set up the VA system. So for growing the pages, you're gonna need at least 5 phones. You're gonna need at least 30 Facebook pages and 40 to 50 Instagram accounts. And also with those Instagram accounts, you can also make threads, and and you can also make YouTube accounts if you want. And also you're gonna need at least 40 to 50 original videos daily, depending on how many accounts you have, and ideas of what content to even do, obviously. Now extras are gonna be content VAs who are gonna be making the content, then variation VAs, reposting VAs, and a manager VA. But you're kind of only gonna need that guy or that woman if you're gonna have over 100 accounts. Then I don't think it really makes sense. I don't think it really makes sense to just have a manager if you're having like four or 5 phones. But like if you're gonna have, I don't know, like 8, 9 phones, and you're gonna have like multiple creating VAs, then it's kind of good if you have someone who's managing all of that stuff. But it's definitely like extra. You don't really need it. For the 40 to 50 original videos, so basically you're gonna have a VA for content who's gonna do like 3 videos a day, and then you're gonna have a variation VA who's basically gonna multiply the video like 20 times. So we're gonna get to that later, but this is how you're gonna be managing 40 to 50 original videos daily. If you were paying an editor to do 40 to 50 videos for you, that would obviously cost you a lot of money, and it will obviously cost a lot of agent credits. It's just not doable to do something like that. So that's why I'm doing it like this with the variations. And as for money, which is definitely something that you also want to know, I'm paying $3.3 per video, so I'm not paying hourly rate. Like, many people were asking me like why I don't use hourly rate for the VAs. Well, obviously, if you give them pay per video, they're going to be trying to get the video as soon as possible. I personally don't really care how long the VA is working. I really don't give a fuck. I just need the work to be done. So if I'm going to be paying them hourly rate, and I'm gonna tell them to work 8 hours a day, and they're gonna tell me like, yo, like this video just took me 5 hours, but 4 hours from working have been just scrolling on TikTok, and 1 hour has been like actually working. Well, then I don't really want to pay them for the 4 hours. So that's why the pay is what it is. And then for the guy who's posting, I pay $50 per phone, and that's 10 IG accounts, 10 Facebook pages, and a couple of YouTube accounts. And then for the variations, it's around $250 a month for 50 variations a day. I feel like it's kind of solid. Like, you can give your own rate depending on who the VA is. You can usually give it to the editor even, but you can also have like separate variation VA. That's what I have right now, because the editors are way too busy with doing videos, and if they were doing also variations, it would kind of be unusable. So yeah, and I have the variation VA, and I pay her like $400 flat right now for probably like 150 variations. So then like it's probably better to just give them like a flat retainer and just tell them to like, yo, just do variations for me, and doesn't matter how many it is, unless they like straight up ask you for more money. But obviously you gotta have some base pay, which I think like 250 a month for 50 of the variations is pretty fair in my opinion. So yeah, and so this can get you to over 100 accounts getting posted daily for around 750 a month, which I feel like is pretty good value for what you're getting, because like over 100 accounts, there's like 100 lottery tickets a day to go viral if you're actually having like very good content. So eventually you'll literally go viral. You're literally doing, if you're going to be doing the same system as I'm explaining right now, you're literally doing, like in one day you do as much work as an average creator in 3 months. So so you literally gonna outwork the creator without even working, with just paying 750 a month. So you're basically every day you're basically saving 3 months of work. So this is, by the way, also why average creators usually just stay average creators, because they never try, to build their systems or whatever. They're okay with just posting once a day, and then there can be you who sets up a proper posting system, and you can literally outwork the creator by 3 months every single day. So then at the end of the year, you are going to be years ahead of him. So yeah, so it's up to you if you want to invest the 750 a month or no, but I feel like it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid investment for what you're getting, how much time you're saving. Because yeah, if you think about it in the way that I just said, that you literally get ahead 3 months of an average creator every single day, then I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. So yeah. And how my system for VAs looks like, obviously I find content to do for the content VA, and I send them the content. For example, on this page, so I just scroll over this page. For example, this one I was just remaking recently, and I just added my switch to it, which is like doing the monk and doing different visuals a little bit. And so I add my little switch when they're remaking it, and then when the content VA is finished with work, I go into private chat with the variation VA goes into private chat. I literally forgot that I was doing these bubbles to make them talk. So when the VA content is finished with work, the variation VA goes into the private chat and creates around 10 to 20 variations of each video, depending on how many accounts we have. Obviously, it's pointless to do 50 variations of each video when we only have like 40 pages. So then you're gonna be you're gonna have to post like 3 times 4 times a day on each page, which I don't think really makes sense. I would be posting like once or twice a day. You're not really gonna speed up the process by just posting more, to be honest. So there will be that. And the way the variation is making the variations is by changing saturation, contrast, or adding transition into the video. You can add some fade-in animation to the beginning of the video, for example. And it's everything you kind of need to make the video different, and then it's not going to be getting straight 0 views on all of the accounts. And so when the variation VA is done with everything, they give the content to the reposter, and the reposter reposts everything on all of the platforms and on all of the phones. And then the last thing that you have is the manager VA, who's like optional, but who's making sure that everything works properly. So he's making sure that all the variations are getting done, that all the accounts are getting posted daily, and he's sending me reports about how the team is doing, or if they need something specific. Personally, what I found super helpful were the daily reports. So I just have my VA, like the manager guy. I just have him send me like report on how many posts were posted. When we were doing TikToks, we were getting a lot of violations. So like right now we're not posting on TikTok at all, but we were getting a lot of violations on TikTok. So anytime account would get banned, he would just tell me like, yo, this account got banned, and it would also automatically get replaced by the poster. So the poster would say like to the manager like, yo, this account got banned, and then the manager would tell him immediately like, yo, can you like remake can you just make the account, can you just make a new account? And then the manager would report to me that the account got banned and new one got made. So this is kind of how it can work. And yeah, I think this is kind of everything I wanted to show you guys. Overall, you are gonna be increasing your luck by shit